Hello, welcome to this Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. This is the Age of Sigmar stat show where I look at all the events that have happened over the weekend and we look through the list and we kind of talk about the current trends. This week, we've seen 447 players play over the weekend. Crazy numbers. 447 players across 13 events over 8 different countries. New Zealand, Australia, the USA, France, Germany, Canada, Poland is our biggest event this week with 74 players battling out and is always considered to be a breeding ground for very cool and competitive lists. So very excited to go through this week. Let me know what you think. And yeah, just let me know what games, in the comments below, let me know what games you're playing, what armies you're playing. I'm always excited to hear what you've got to say. So do let me know. Let's dive straight in. And let's see what we've got. Our first event is in Poland. It takes us to Poland for the Bydgoski Master with Warhammer Age of Sigmar event, taking place at what looks to be a lovely church. It's a very lovely area to play some Warhammer in, if I'm honest. So this is over in Poland. So we have 2 5-0s because this massive event had 74 players battling it out, which is very, very exciting. And in first place, we had Kuba with Lumineth Realm Lords. Running Master the Paths and Intercept and Recover. He was running the Cenari Council. With Severith, then we have Eleanor and Elathor, the Eclipsean War Sages, Scorchy Karan, Light Voltharion, then 2 reinforced units of Blade Lords, and Enlightener, a Cenari Calathar, and then the Regiment of Renown, the Saviors of Sindafor. So that's one of our 2 5-0s. Shout out to Kuba for being the champion of the week. And then Oscar, also with a 5-0 with Caradron Overlords. I like that you can insert pictures into your list of these ones. Okay, he was running Caradron Overlords, and he had Master of the Pass with Restless Energy, and then also he was running the Engineer Guild's Expeditionary Force. We've got Brock, a Frigate, an Engineer Master, a reinforced unit of Sky Wardens and Salvagers, then a Null Chemist, an Ironclad, a Harpoon Crew, and a reinforced unit of Salvagers as well. Very cheap, like the new Chaos Dwarfs. Points for these are very cheap. That's what's making them very effective. When the Battle Scroll comes out later this month, is a points change going to change these around? As I've said, the Caradron Overlords definitely are going to get looked at points-wise. I think Lumineth Realm Lords have been playing a sleeper game when it comes to performing very well. They might skip the Battle Scroll. So going into 2026, Lumineth Realm Lords looking very good. Now in the 4-1 section, we've got some big surprises. Seraphon is our first one, played by Fazzy, running the Sunclaw Star Host and using Attuned Garan and then the Wrathful Cycles. And we called it. Let's go. We have Lord Croak and a Saurus Astaroth Banner Bearer. Then, as we said when we did the review of their rules coming out and them getting points, we have got spammed Sunblood Pack. Theme Sunblood Pack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of the Sunblood Pack being released, which is insane. Then also an Engine of the Gods. If you want to go back and watch my video where we talked about the latest updates, it's a few videos ago now, we go through everything the Sunblood Pack does. It's very, very strong. We did theorize if people took lots of them, it would be scary, and there you go. But it only went 4-1, so that's important to remember. So then we have also in the 4-1 section, we have Caradron Overlords again. This is being played by Arthur Reitz, running Engineer Guild's Expeditionary Force with Master of the Path and Restless Energy. Then we have Brock, the Archanaut Frigate, another Archanaut Frigate, a Null Chemist, some Sky Wardens, then a Null Chemist, some Sky Wardens, a Harpoon Crew, and some Salvagers. I think at this stage, it's clear the units that we're going to see, but there is a differentiation between these units a little bit, and that's also good because it's not just the same list, it's just similar units in what is a very tight roster. Talking about same units, we have a Cities of Sigmar army played by Trazin, which had a very long title for their... The pictures are the best. Okay. Friendship ended with Pontifex and Estra. Now Steam Commander is my friend. Okay. All right. I think that's roughly what that says. So this is a fearless exemplar of Cities of Sigmar army. And this is running a Steam Tank Commander, Callus and Toll, a Free Guild Marshal and Relic Envoy, then 2 Free Guild Command Corps, an Alchemite Warforger, 2 Reinforced Units Steel Helms, a Fusel Major Warhulk, and 2 units of Free Guild Cavaliers. A genuinely very different Cities of Sigmar army to the ones that we have seen all of the time. It doesn't have, as Phil in the chat's pointed out, the Pontiflex is not in attendance, which is great. Callus and Toll still there, fine. And the Cavs also good, but no cannons either. Just the Steam Tank Commander and a bunch of Steel Helms trying to live their lives. Absolutely incredible. That's an amazing result. Well done to Trazin. Griesbeck was not running that list, and instead was running a Cities of Sigmar Veteran Cannoneers list with a Soggy Pontifex, Free Guild Command Corps, Callus and Toll, Free Guild Marshal Relic Envoy, 2 Command Corps, 3 cannons, an Ogre Warhulk, and then the Regiment of Renown, the Skyport Profiteers. So more of our traditional Cities of Sigmar. Maybe Trazin's list will be the Cities of Sigmar armies we see in the future. Michael Ikowski was running Skaven, and he had a Restless Energy Master of the Paths in the Virulent Possession with a Warlock Galvanier, 4 Doom Wheels, a Warlock Galvanier, and 3 Doom Wheels, taking us up to 7 Doom Wheels. Poland do not mess around. That's all I'm going to say. These are some great lists. And then a Soggy Greyseer on Screaming Bell, another Doom Wheel taking us up to 8 Doom Wheels. Then a Reinforced Unit of Plague Monks and another Reinforced Unit of Plague Monks. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Then we got Ricci running Dorsey Kane in the 4-1 as well. running the Coven Zealots list with Scouting Force and Restless Energy. Then you guys Soggy Bloodrack Shrine, 2 units of K-Knight Shadowstalkers, 2 reinforced units of Witch Elves with paired knives, Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, and 2 Sisters of Slaughter units that were reinforced with bladed bucklers. And finally, the Soggy Croessa Croneseer, and also a unit of K-Knight Shadowstalkers. A lot of models available for DOK. They have, if we've noticed over the past few weeks, dropped off the meta. So if they do end up getting a really savage update in the Battle Scroll in a few weeks, which would be disappointing because we've started to see them slowly slide off those top spots in the meta. So I'd be quite disappointed in that. We've also got KO again for what run by Alexandra with a similar list. Nothing particularly different there. Let me just check. It's got Brock, got a Harpoon Crew, got a Frigate. Perfect. Well done to you. That's excellent. Then we've got Lucas with Hedonites of Sinesh running Master of the Paths and Restless Energy with the Invaders host battle formation. And then we've got Glutos, a reinforced unit of Blitzbarb Archers, Sigval, 2 units of Twin Souls. You got to remember, over the past few weeks, we've started to see Sinesh perform better and better, specifically orientated around Glutos and units of Twin Souls. And then we've got Shard Speaker and 2 units of Scourger Garan Fiend Bloods, which you saw played in the US by Mike several times. 2 reinforced units of Fiend Bloods, the soggy versions. They have made it to Poland, which means they are very, very good. Then we have got our last 4-1 is Pietrek running Daughters of Cain, and he had running Insect and Recover Master Paths with Arena Veterans, with Marathi, very different to what we normally see, Witch Elves with paired knives times reinforced unit, then a Slaughter Queen of Cauldron of Blood, and 2 Sisters of Slaughter units with bladed bucklers, and then Caressa of the Croneseer and the K-Knight Shadowstalkers. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Very different as well. So while some of those armies are armies we expect to see, like KO and Cities of Sigmar, one of the Cities of Sigmar armies has taken a turn. We do also expect Daughters of Cain as well, but Daughters of Cain kind of operating in here. But it's very exciting to see Seraphon, even if it's a very hilarious list. Oh, I missed out Sylvaneth somehow. I apologize to Christoph, who was also running Sylvaneth. With Master of the Paths and Restless Energy, he had Belthanos, reinforced unit of Hunters with Great Bows, Scourger Grand Revenant Seekers, which are very popular at the minute, and they were reinforced. And then a Soggy Drycha, and then a Warsong Rev, a Branch Witch, all in the list as well. And then a reinforced unit of Spite Revenants in that list. So Sylvaneth also pretty shocking. So Sylvaneth up there, Seraphon up there, Skaven with 8 Doom Wheels. So it seems like a really great event, and also some very inspiring lists, so that's great. Our next event takes us to USA for the Flying Monkey Con AOS Championship 2025, organized by Matt Neely in Wichita, Kansas. If you ever want to go to that event next year, it's on every single year. We have 2 5-0s from this 65-person event. Very busy week this week. And that is Thomas Burgett and also Tristan Dale. Now, Thomas Burgett, this is going to be super exciting for everybody, is running Ogres. But his list name is, even when you don't play KO, you're still playing KO, because his Ogre Tribes Moorpath Menaces army with Restless Energy, Intercept and Recover has a Butcher, Reinforced Unit of Iron Guts, 2 units of Gluttons, a Scourge of Garan Iron Blaster, a Slaughtermaster, a Gorge of Moorpack, and then it has the Regiment of Renown, the Skyport Profiteers, which probably needs looking at a little bit in an FAQ or points update, because we got to see it all the time. Then Tristan Dale was running a Stormcast Eternals list called Red Bull Gives You Sigmarines, which is a Sentinels of the Bleak Citadel's army with Intercept to Recover and Master the Paths. With Ionis Cryptborn, it's very popular, I would say. If you're going to play Stormcast Eternals right now, they're played a lot, but they're not necessarily doing very well. And then a Lord Terminos, a unit of Reclusians, and then a Quest of Soul Sworn. Then Taurus the Redeemed, which is actually quite a rare pick. Very rare, actually. 2 reinforced units of Prosecutors, which explains Taurus, and then Gardas Steel Soul. It's pretty interesting, actually, because Gardas is going to give them pluses to attack and pluses to charge when they deep strike. So I guess the idea is here with Gardas is to drop the Prosecutors down, do a ton of damage, and then just kind of cycle charge with Taurus. That's quite interesting. While Ionis and the Reclusians go and grab objectives. Very cool. I like that. That's very fun. Nice to see a little twist on Stormcast Eternals. Let's take a look at the 4-1 section. The 4-1 section is nice and diverse. We've got Flesh Eater Courts, Gits, Daughters of Cain, and Cities and KO all feature. New Nighthorn on the block, and it won't be the only time we see them this stat show. Flesh Eater Courts again, Sons of Behemoth. Don't forget last week, it was all about Flesh Eater Courts. Flesh Eater Courts was super popular. Everyone was playing them, and it was popping off. Okay, so Wyatt Moran was running His Majesty's Premium Cavalry Package, Return to Sender, which was a Flesh Eater Courts nightly echelon list with Intercept to Recover and Restless Energy, with Usharan, a Crypt Horn to Courtier, Crypt Horrors, and a Royal Zombie Dragon. Then a Gore Warden, very popular. The 2 reinforced units, Crypt Horrors, and an Abhorrent Cardinal. Very cool to see the Gore Warden in there, and not the soggy Gore Warden, which I think is really competitively, like it's got a lot of competitive rules between the two. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Okay, Alex Cotter was running a list called Truggles, which is a Gloomspite Gits Trugherd army with Intercept and Recover and Restless Energy. Nice to see this. Trug, Dankold Trogboss, and Dankold Troggoth. 2 reinforced units of Rockgut Troggoths, then Scragrot the Loon King, Scorcher Grand Sports Splatter Fanatics, and Snarlfang Riders. So a bit of a classic, and if there's enough objectives that are just kind of hitting in the middle, this is going to work really well. And it did, 4-1. Gits still not out there. There's still room to play with Gits for sure. Derek Center was running a list called the Salma Hayek Fan Club, which was a Daughters of Cain Arena Veterans list with Restless Energy and Scouting Force. Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, 2 reinforced units of Sisters of Slaughter with Bladed Bucklers, then 2 reinforced units of Witch Elves with Paired Knives, and a Scourge of Garan Cressa Crone Seer, and then a Scourge of Garan Bloodrak Shrine, and 3 units of Shadow Stalkers. I think it's the fact that you get 80 infantry and you still get 3 units of 5 Shadow Stalkers that could do whatever they like. That is just so good for this army. But again, in that 4-1 section. So I really don't want to see an aggressive hit to Daughters of Cain, because they kind of were out for the first year of AOS. So it's nice to see them back. Luke Springett was running a list called Beat Wesley list. I hope he did beat Wesley. Do you know what? Fuck you, Wesley. That's what I say. He's running a Caesar Sigmar Veteran Cannoneers list. And if you are watching this video, please do leave a comment and tell Wesley to get fucked. He's running a Caesar Sigmar Veteran Cannoneers list with Master the Paths and Scouting Force. And he had a Free Guild Marshal Relic Envoy, 3 Free Guild Command Corps, a Soggy Pontifex, 2 Great Cannons, a Battle Mage on Celestial Hurricanum, a Free Guild Cavalier, Callous and Toll, and then a Fusel Major on Ogre Warhawk. So pretty common to what we see, although the Battle Major on Celestial Hurricanum, pretty new and not something we see all the time. So there you go. Then we've got Ben Bauman running a list called Full Broadside, which is a Caradron Overlords Engineers Guild list with Restless Energy and Intercept and Recover. He has Brock, an Archanaut frigate, some Sky Wardens, a Harpoon crew, and some salvagers. And then Admiral, an Archanaut company, an Ironclad, and an Engine Master. So pretty much classic what we're seeing at the moment. Sean Freed was running a list called NH, a Nighthaunt list, with Quicksilver Geasts, and then he is running Scouting Force and Restless Energy. He has Lady Olinda, 2 reinforced units of Glaive Wraith Stalkers, a Lord Executioner, Krulgeist Cruciator, a reinforced unit of Bydgoski Revenants, and 2 units of Pyregeists as well. So maybe this is the first look at what we might see from new Nighthaunt armies. I'm surprised to not see a soggy black coach in here. They're so good, even with the changes. I'm really surprised. Really surprised. But the Pyregeists have been much rumored to be okay. And Lady Olinda in there, very interesting, even at that very high points cost. I said there's not a soggy black coach. There's literally a soggy black coach right there. Right there, I apologize. Okay, well done, Sean. That's interesting. First time out. Shannon O'Connell was running a list called An Observational Study of the Omaphagia Expressed in Necrociraptans Giganticus. I think I did okay there. Anyway, running First Unit Courts with Knightly Echelon, Master of the Paths and Restless Energy, an Abhorrent Gore Warden, some Crypt Horrors, a Crypt Guard, and some Morbeg Knights that were reinforced, and then Abhorrent Gore King or Raw Terrorgeist, Raw Zombie Dragon, an Abhorrent Cardinal to use a Crypt Guard, and Grand Justice Gore Main. I think everyone is pumped about how good the Abhorrent Gore King or Raw Terrorgeist currently is. And Sean Kelly McGeegan was running a list called The Ballad of Thunder, Wine, War, and Waves, the curious tale of how Zeus got his juice back, which was a Sons of Behemoth King's Broad Stomp list with Intercept and Recover and Restless Energy, with King Broad, a Greek or Zeus-themed Gargants list. King Broad, a War Stomper, a Gatebreaker, and a Gatebreaker. This is not the only one of these we've seen. And lastly, Chad Graham running Lumineth Realm Lords was running Venari Battle Host with Intercept, Recover, and Restless Energy. Severith, 2 Hurricane Spirits of the Winds, a Venari Law Region, and then just 20 Dawn Riders. So while we do see lists be very common, like you see units very commonly taken, as I open up this LRL list, I really would have expected to see like the soggy Altharian. I would have expected to see Eleanor and Elithor. And that just isn't what we're currently seeing. Like, oftentimes there is a list that works really well for each army, but there are also lists that just are out there for each army as well. And they're doing good. A 4-1, by the way, is a fantastic result. Anything over like a 3-2, where you win 3 and you lose 2, is a positive win rate. That's fantastic. It doesn't always have to be a 5-0 list. So seeing multiple armies rocking around these 4-1 sections, but with very different builds. A good example would be Daughters of Cain. You rarely ever see like bow snakes or fight snakes. You normally see everything else in the roster, which is pretty great for only 2 units to not be in there. But you can pretty much guess what they're always going to be because they've got a limited roster. But this is fun. LRL have got like a very wide roster, same with Soulblight Gravelords. In fact, actually, interesting note, no Soulblight Gravelords so far. When I said a couple of weeks ago, we saw them absolutely everywhere. So really, it does feel like that there's a bit of a season to some armies. Flesh Eater Courts at the minute, but I think LRL are on the rise for sure. Anyway, hope everyone had a great time at the Flying Monkey Con AOS event. Let's look at the next one. Our next event takes us to French Canada, Quebec. Some say best Canada. I do not judge. For the Montreal GT, organized by George Hewitt, taking place at l'Abyss Boutique de Jeux Café Ludicue. That is perfectly said. Anyway, 54 people battling out at this event. French Canada, by the way, excellent Wargamers. Always been excellent. So you should if you get a chance to go over there. Also, Montreal's a beautiful city. Won by Ollie Moran. My friend Ollie. Congratulations to Ollie. That's fantastic to see. I'm super pumped for him. Running a list called the Twin Towers. He was running a Skaven Gathering of the Clans list, running Restless Energy and Scouting Force. He had a Scourge Grand Gracier on Screaming Bell, a unit of Plague Monks, a unit of reinforced unit of Rat Ogres, a reinforced unit of Rattling Guns, a Soggy Brood Terror, and then a Plague Priest on Plague Furnace, and 3 units of Plague Monks. Now, Ollie is maybe 16 now. That's amazing to see. I'm super happy for him. That's a fantastic result. Special shout out to him, his family, Francois, and everybody. Loads of love to all of you. Now, if we look in the 4-1 section, yes, he's our only 5-0, which is fantastic. So if we look in our 4-1 section, we've got Jean-Francois Normand with a list called Baby Don't Hurt Me No More, a.k.a. Loic doesn't deserve to win the event. Oh my God, get fucked, Loic. People calling out their friends in the list names is outrageous. Anyway, so he's running Arena Veterans with Scouting Forces Restless Energy, with Bloodwreck Shrine, 5 Heart Renders, 5 Live Takers, 20 Witch Elves with Paired Knives, 5 Doomfire Warlocks, Caress the Crone Seer, the Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, 2 reinforced units of Sisters of Slaughter, and then 20 more Witch Elves with Bladed Knives. So fantastic. Again, DOK settling in that 4-1 section, but not hitting 5-0. Alex Boucher was running a list called The Butcher. This spring, I promised myself to bring Dreki at World Championship this year because you know he is by far the best character games workshop ever created. And I'm a huge fanboy, listen to the audiobooks monthly while painting. This is the start of this journey, and feel free to come and say hi to Dreki when I'll be at Atlanta, says Alexis Boucher. He was running an Engineer Guild Expeditionary Force that went 4-1. He had Brock Grungson, Arcanaut Frigate, 2 units of Von Grimm Harpoon Crew, and 5 Grundstock Thunderers. Then Dreki Flint, Arcanaut Frigate, 6 Sky Wardens, and 10 Von Grimm Salvagers, 10 more Arcanaut, an Arcanaut Admiral, and then the Soggy Code Right as well. I hope that he gets to take Dreki Flint around the world and have an amazing time. Good luck, Alexis. Vincent Pierre was running a list called Ustran's Retinue, which was a Flesh Eater Court's nightly echelon list with Aetherort Machineries, Incept Recover Restless Energy. He had Ustran, Crypt Horrors, and Crypt Guard, both of which were reinforced, and a Abhorrent Ghoul King Royal Terrorgeist, more Beg Knights times 2, 1 reinforced, and a Abhorrent Cardinal. Okay. I think we're starting to see like some of the Flesh Eater Courts lists settle in, but I think we're likely to see this Abhorrent Ghoul King on Terrorgeist all of the time. Okay. So then we have Anthony Bouchard running a list called Please No Monster Killers, which is a Sylvaneth Free Spirits list with Intercept and Recover Restless Energy, running a Lariel, Belthanos, Branch Witch, and Spite Rev, then Dreicher, and 6 Scourge Ground Revenant Seekers. I told you, they're popping up all the time now. Now people have got them painted and put onto the tabletop. We're going to see them, I think, more and more. Big Monster Mash, everything go forward. Very cool. Well done, Anthony Bouchard. Loic was running a list called A, which is a Carriage on Overlords Engineers Guild Expeditionary Force with Brock, Frigate, Skywardens, Soggy Code Right, Volgrim Salvagers, and then Arcanaut Admiral. Classic KO. Need a point exchange. Frederico. I love Frederic so much. He's the best in the world. Was running a list called 6 Hot Dogs, all dressed, no garlic, please, which was a Soulblight Gravelords. Oh, I knew it. Bacchanal of Blood. He normally plays Flesh Eater Court, so just seeing him pivot over. Flesh Eater Court's too cool for him at the moment, obviously. Running over to Bacchanal of Blood. They're running Aetherort Machineries with Radikar the Wolf, a reinforced unit of, not reinforced, 3 units of Skirgan True Blades, Prince Vordry, 3 more units of Skirgan True Blades, a Vengori Lord, 2 units of Blood Knights. That's very cool. That would look, that's all vampire themed as well. Everything in that list is a vampire, which is actually sick. Like, because Skirgan True Blades is like that's excellent. That's really cool. It's a very cool theme, chat. That's what that is. I'm calling it. Amari Rosbar was running the Swamp Always Tricks Dirty, which is a Krulboid Swamp Horde Bullies list with Swamp Boss Scumdrek, then 20 Gut Rippers, Hobgrot Slayers, Marshcraw Slogoth, Killer Boss and Corpse Ripper Vulture, and then 2x7 Monster Killers, Manskill Bolt Boys, Swamp Caller Shaman, and then 3x3 Manskill Bolt Boys. And actually, interestingly, we haven't seen a lot of Cruel Boys this week so far, which is pretty classic. Have not seen that at all. Cedric Delort has been running a Soulblight Gravelords list as well, Bacchanal Blood. I should have held my breath to see more Soulblight Gravelords. Running Intercept and Recover and Master Pass with Manfred, Baronites, Varghese, Whitelord and Skeletal Steed, Vampire Lord, Reinforced Unit Barrowguard, Direwolves, Radikar the Beast. Honestly, if I think it's the widest book at the moment. I think it's not necessarily the book that's got the best opportunity to go 5-0, but it's the book that's got the most army builds available to it. Assault Blade Gravelord, so that's cool. And going 4-1 as well. Finally, Ruben Moran was running a list called Rage Against the Fishing, which was an Idnet Deepkin Achillean Beastmaster's army with Restless Energy and Scouting Force. We've got Eidolon and Mathalan, Aspect to the Sea, an Alapex, a Leviathan, 2 reinforced units of Morsar Guard, and then the Regiment of Renown, the Skyport Profiteers. So even KO. Now, that's actually one of the things I think that's been missing over the past few weeks has been Idnet Deepkin. We have seen them with Shark Spam multiple times, but we haven't seen anything beyond that. So I'm interested to see if they do end up, they need to get painted up more, or people need to put more thralls or whatever they need to do to put them together. So I think that's quite interesting. So, the last thing to say about the Montreal GT is that on the Saturday, they served over 85 lasagnas to everyone at the event, and then 85 shepherd's pies on the Sunday, which they believe is a world record amount of lasagnas. Now, I don't know if that's true, but congratulations, and I hope everyone enjoyed the lasagna. Either way, a special shout out to Ollie. I hope you had a great time, and everyone in French Canada and Quebec, because you're all wonderful people, and I hope you continue to keep having big events. Our next event takes us to Germany for the Bayern Major number 2 2025, organized by Sven Schauer. Shout out to Sven, and I apologize before I start saying any of the names. This is 53 people battling it out in Germany. So our first and only 5-0 is Alexander Spohl running Skaven. This is double Skaven at the top, by the way. And this is Fleshmill Menagerie with Greyseer on Screaming Bell, a Brood Terror, 3x6 Rat Ogres, and then a Plague Priest on Plague Furnace and Plague Monks and Clown Rats. Plague Monks becoming very popular at the moment. But Rat Ogre's also featuring heavily as well. That Brood Terror is a soggy version. This is a devastating army, will do a ton of damage. Now, jumping into the 4-1 section, 4-1 section, we've got Lizard, Jan Schwarz running a Fire Slayers list called Lizard, 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 which I think means we're going to see 5. I read that right? 5 Magmadroths. Scales of Volcatrix with a Rune Sun on Magmadroth, then 1, 2, 3 Rune Suns on Magmadroth, a Rune Master, a Saviors of Cinderfall, and then an auxiliary detachment, like we're just making it up, with a Rune Smiter on Magmadroth. Fantastic, great to see. The fantastic Dario Groman with a list called Zero Metahue, which is a Cities of Sigmar veteran cannoneers list with a Tunti Grand and Restless Energy, with a Soggy Pontifex, 2 reinforced units of Free Guild Cavaliers, a Warforger, Callus and Toll, Free Guild Marshal on Relic Envoy, 2 Command Corps, a Fusel Major on Ogre Warhawk, and an Iron World Great Cannon. I can't believe so many people have got this list painted up. It's amazing. Shout out to Dario. Tristan Paffenholz was running a list called the Engineers Guild, which is a KO list, the Engineers Expeditionary Guild, with pretty much everything you expect to see, which is great. Congratulations to them. David Demmel was running a list called This List is Completely Fine, which was a Nighthaunt Quicksilver Geese list with Restless Energy and Scouting Force, Lady Alinda, 2 Soggy Black Coaches, a Krulgas Cruciator, 3 units of Pyregeists, a Krulgas Cruciator, 3 units of Pyregeists, and an Excess of Grief. I think This List is Completely Fine might be sarcastic. Oh no. Oh dear. Well done to David Demmel, proving that Nighthaunt are not in the bin, which is great. Matthias Nokal was running a list called Kragnos Liebesliegen Ischingen? Perfect. Which is an Iron Jaws army in an Iron Jaws Brawl battle formation with Restless Energy and Master the Paths with Kragnos. This is a German person right now throwing a bottle of water at the telly. I'm sorry, I apologize. Running Kragnos, a Morgrunter Gouger, 2 Gore Grunters units, a Godrak, a Tuskboss of Morgrunter, and a Morgrunter Hacking Crew. So a lot of 3d6 charge monsters running straight at your face. So fantastic to the list, which is favorite food is ham. Okay, The list is called Favorite Food is Ham. Thank you very much, Matthias. And also great to see Iron Jaws in here as well. Let's take a moment. Iron Jaws, lots of monsters, full send, push it in. Let's go. Lots of monsters, big activations, big swings. Is there lots of -1 to hit in the meta at the minute? Not really. So there you go. You can see that. Miklos Müller was running a list called Grudge Hunter, which is a KO list with a ton of KO dudes. Congratulations. And then Peter Haring was running a list called Please Don't Shoot Me, which is a Frustrated Courts Impassioned Serfs list with Restless Energy and Master of the Past, with Ushran, 2 reinforced units of Crypt Guard and Grand Justice Court main, then a Borongul King of Royal Terrorgeist, Crypt Horrors, Royal Decapitators, and Royal Zombie Dragons. So 3 big monsters to throw at the enemy and distract them while the Crypt Guard go hold the line, and the Crypt Horrors also go do some smashing. It's very cool to see. And our last 4-1 by Tim Wembrick was a Maggotkin list. First time. Let's go. Haven't seen Khorne yet this week so far. Quite interesting. Running Plague Cyst with Restless Energy and Master the Paths. We've got a Soggy Rotigus, 2 units of Plague Bearers, Subject Bile Piper, Harbinger Decay, Future Blight Kings, and Blight Kings again, and the Feculent Narmor, and then the Regiment Renown that gets you the Nurgle Demon Prince, which is pretty much like auto if you're playing Maggotkin of Nurgle. Now, the Rotigus, the Soggy version, is great. And obviously, we're still waiting for what might be that Nurgle Battle Tome beginning of next year with a bunch of new minis coming in. But we have seen at least the demon portion of this book be a little bit more popular over the past few weeks, which has taken me up by surprise. I thought we would see a lot more Blight Kings. Ultimately, I think Nurgle is in a terrible position at the moment inside the game because there's so much anti-ward, which is really their thing. Having a 5-up ward save is their thing. It's not a great thing, but it is their thing. So there's so much anti-ward that's in the meta that they really haven't popped up as an army, which I think is interesting. I hope everyone at Bayern Major number 2 had a great time. Our next event takes us over to sunny Australia for the Port Macquarie event. We're in Port Macquarie for the Port Plunder 2025, which I've been reliably informed is Port Plunder's 2nd successful event. So congratulations to Will Beale, who organized the event. I love seeing new events pop up, especially in one of my favorite communities, the Australian community. So shout out to all of you. Fantastic to see. So they had Port Plunder, 48 people. That's cracking. All right, so in first place, we've got Sam Swinson with Carriage and Overlords. We've got more Carriage and Overlords as well, and then Stormcast Eternal. So I'm probably at this point, 60 and KO. I'm probably going to be close to skipping. It's Sam Swinson won the event with all them hoes, with a Carriage and Overlords army, with everything you expect to see. So congratulations to Sam. Quifan Zhu was running a list called an Astra Militarum list, which is again a KO list with a bunch of names. Very cool. Like the Doomhammer with Grav Engine, as you can see here. Maybe it was also Kit Basher's models. I don't know. But shout out to Quifan. Then Adam Brady, this is all the 4-1 section now, was running a list called Dad's Army. So Stormcast Eternals, Lightning Echelon list with Interceptor and Cover and Restless Energy, with Scourging around Iridan the Witness, so good. Lord Terminos, Reinforced Unit of Reclusians, Stormdrake Guard. Second time in a couple of weeks we've seen Stormdrake Guard making it back into the tables. And then Night Arcanum, Storm Covered, some Vigilers as well. So Stormdrake Guard are an interesting choice in this army. Very cool to see. Pretty surprised. And Iridan the Witness, I think, is pretty clutch. Gary Chen was running a list called Tawny Boys, which was a Orc Warclan's Crawl Boys army with Swamp Horde Bullies, with Scout Force and Interceptor Recover, with a Killer Boss and Corpse Ripper Vulture, 2 reinforced units of Gut Rippers, a Marshall Sluggoth, and a Merc Knob with Belcher Banner, then a Scourging around Killer Boss with Great Gnashtooth, and then 3 units of Cruel Boys with Monster Killers, and then a Swamp Caller Shaman, 2 units of Manscale Bolt Boys, and also a Kill Bow. So Cruel Boys back in the mix, but not necessarily hitting loads of 5-0s and just getting a bunch of constant 4-1s. So again, I think maybe people have adapted to them a little bit. Matt Campbell was running a list called Karazai, which is Stormcast Eternals list in the Lightning Echelon with Karazai. How very 2024 of him. I haven't seen Karazai in a hot minute. Great to see them back on the table. Dracothian Guard Concussors, 2 reinforced units of Prosecutors, Night Arcanum, some Vanquishers, some Vigilers. So I guess it's just, throwing the Prosecutors and Karazai straight at someone straight off the bat. Very fun. Not seen that in a while.
Jacob Mears was running a list called Project Human Shield, which is a Blades of Khorne murder host list with Wrathful Cycles and Restless Energy, with a Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster, Karanak, Claws of Karanak, 2 units of Fleshhounds, a Bloodmaster, 3 reinforced units of Bloodletters, and I think the Human Shield element was a Slaughter Priest and 3 units of Blood Reavers. This will all be the new book. Bloodletters is also not what I would have expected to see from a new book list. Would have seen maybe lots of Blood Warriors. Haven't seen that at all. We saw that last week and the week before. But Bloodletters and Demons in the current Khorne book is a crazy pick. And to see it do so well is really fantastic. Jacob Gallagher was running a Kharadron Overlords list as well called War Crimes Are Acceptable because these are dwarves. Apparently, and again, lots of what you would expect to see from KO. And then Andrew McNally was running a list called Port Plunder, which was a Fleshmail Menagerie Skaven list with Intercept, Recover, and Scouting Force, with Master Molder, Storm Fiends, a reinforced unit of Storm Fiends, Soggy Brood Terror, Master Molder, some Rat Ogres, some more Rat Ogres, 1 reinforced unit, 2 not, and then a Soggy, Gracie on Screaming Bell, Clan Rats, and Master Molder. Wow. Okay. I mean, Skaven also a really wide book. If we take this week's results right now, Skaven in this crazy good position. But again, the Scourge of Garan updates was just so successful in making Age of Sigmar just a much bigger game. So many different units, so many different models are on the tabletop thanks to the Scourge of Garan updates. And so many more armies are playing because of those Scourge of Garan updates as well. Anyway, congratulations to Port Plunder. I hope you had an amazing time. And I'm really excited for Port Plunder 3 next year. Our next event takes us to France, La France, for North Emperor #1 GT AOS by Coton Complete. Not really sure what any of that means, if I'm honest with you. But it was an event run on a website called Mini Headquarters, which is eye-watering. I do apologize to everybody. And took place, I'm not sure where it took place. Okay. Either way, about 50 people. So if we go and look at the results, we can see we got 150 with Stormcast Eternals. And again, Stormcast Eternals started to feature in a little bit more than we originally thought. So the Stormcast Eternals list was a Thunderhead host with Aether Machineries, with a Soggy Iridan the Witness, I told you, Annihilators with Meteoric Grandhammers. Absolutely, let's go. Guard of Steel Soul, Reinforced Unit of Prosecutors, Vanguard Raptors, Long Track Crossbows, a Veritant, an Imperatant, and then a Stormreach Portal. So again, I think playing Stormcast Eternals right now, you're in an amazing position because of your terrain piece. Being able to grab objectives, grab back objectives, grab battle tactics. I really expect to see Stormcast Eternals doing better. I'm kind of surprised that they don't. Then we're just going to go through these. It's quite a difficult website to navigate. So Cotain was running Daughters of Cain. Le Grand Ruin was running Skavens. Zorkar was running Ironeth Deepkin. Artemis was running Auric Warclans. We'll try and open that up and see what we got there. So we got, this is Cruel Boys with Swampole Bullies. We got Snatcher Boss and Sludge Raker Beast. Then we have Reinforced Unit Gut Rippers, some Bolt Boys and a Sloggoth, Swampcaller Shaman, some Monster Killers, and then Swampcaller Shaman with Potgrot, and then 3 units of Bolt Boys, a Scourge of Grand Killer Boss on Great Gnash Tooth as well. So that's cool to see. Again, Cruel Boys still popping up. More KO, and that's it in our kind of 4-1 section. So the only ones that really stand out here is, again, we're seeing more Skaven. We're seeing Daughters of Cain still floating around that 4-1 section. We're still seeing like Cruel Boys and KO. But yeah, very, very fun. Stormcast Eternals, though, I think there's a story there. I think there's an army to play. I think there's an army to win events with, and we're seeing a couple of diverse different options now. So if you are a Stormcast player, don't give up hope. Our next event takes us to sunny England for the Sunshine Coast Open 25-26, organized by the fantastic Mark Wilson. This is Mark. Everyone say hello. There is Mark. And the event was taken here in East Dean in England. If you've ever been to East Dean, or if you want to ever go to Sunshine Coast, it's an event that happens every year, and you should go. Mark's a great TO. Now we've only got 150 run by Nighthorn, played by Darren. Congratulations to Darren. It's great to see him play it. And he is running a list called Perish Song, which was a Nighthaunt Deathstalkers list with a Tunity Grand Scouting Force, with Lady Alinda, a reinforced unit of Bladegeist Revenants, 3 reinforced units of Craven Throne Guard, Kurdos Valentine, Bladegeist Revenants, Chain Rasps, and a Scriptor Mortis. So again, very off meta to what we've seen from the Nighthaunt, but Nighthaunt are featuring at events and doing well this year. So that's worth, or post their book. So absolutely worth talking about. Moving into the 4-1 section, we got Yanis Yogo running a list called Bydgoski versus Archman, which is a Flesh Eater Course nightly echelon list with Master Pass and Restless Energy, with a Good King on Terrorgeist. That's the Bydgoski. And then 2 Crypt Guard, Royal Beast Flares and Royal Terrorgeist, an Abhorrent Gore Warden, 2 reinforced units of Crypt Horrors, an Abhorrent Cardinal, and an Abhorrent Arc Region. So it turns out, like, post several of these new battle tomes, they're all featuring very heavily in the army compositions, which is great to see. Daniil was running a list called Skaven. Was running a list called Nothing. Didn't name it. Come on, Daniil, try harder. Which is a Flesh Metal Menagerie Skaven list with Restless Energy and Scouting Force, with a Scourging Grand Great Steel and Screaming Bell, 2 reinforced unit of Rat Ogres, a Scourging Grand Brood Terror, Warlock Bombardier, 2 units of Globadiers, a Warp Lightning Cannon, a Death Master, and 2 units of Night Runners, or a unit of Night Runners that was reinforced. So again, very diverse Skaven roster right now. Very cool to see. Matt Goldsborough was running a list called Mummy is Back, which was a Nighthaunt Deathstalkers list with Lady Alinda, 2 reinforced units of Blake Ice Revs, a Soggy Black Coach, a Scriptor Mortis, 2 units of Pygeist, 2 units of Glavestalkers. So that's 2 very successful Nighthaunt plays in England this week. And then Sebastian Del Monte was running a list called Many of These Trees Were My Friends, which is a Sylvaneth Wargrove of Everdusk list with Wrathful Cycles and Master Paths, with Alariel, Belthanos, Scourging Grand Drycha, Spirit of Earthu, Warsong Rev, and Tree Revs. So this is like second or third time we've seen big monster trees doing really well this week. And I think Sylvaneth are really there at the moment. They're in that kind of like 3-2-4-1 section. Very healthy to play, very fun to play, and that's cool. So that's everything from the Sunshine Coast. I hope to see it grow and get bigger and better every year. I think tickets were capped. I think this is as big as the event will be. I think it was just sold out, and that's the maximum size of the event, which is very cool. Yeah, it just says here 30-player event. So it's as big as Mark wants it to be, which I think is really nice. More Warhammer all the time. Our next event takes us to America for Locked and Loaded GT, organized by Joe Cooper and Loaded Dice Games and Rene Trinidad. Congratulations to all of you. I think we had 24 players battling out. And in first place, you had Ted Batten, I think taking place inside this kind of strip mall area. Let me know. There's an Outback Steakhouse right over here in California. So if you want to go there, it looks like a fun time. So Ted Batten was running a list called Bourbon the Bullies, which was a Cruel Boys Swamp Horde Bullies list with Master Pass and Restless Energy. They had a Killer Boss and Corpse Ripper Vulture, 2 units of Gut Rippers, some Manscale Bold Boys and Marshcrawl Slogoth, a Swamp Caller Shaman, 2 units of Cruel Boys Monster Killers, a Scourging Grand Killer Boss and Great Gnashtooth, and then 2 Manscale Bold Boys as well, and then a Merc Knob with Belcher Banner. So the big Gut Ripper blocks seem to be so clutch in how these armies perform. But again, this army is just so cheap and you can put so much on the board. Brian Horton was running a list called This GHB is So Bad. He went 4-1, so which is a Daughter Kane Arena Veterans list, Scouting Force and Wrathful Cycles, with a Soggy Croethsa, 2 reinforced units of Sisters of Slaughter, 2 reinforced units of Witch Elves, and then a Scourging Garan Bloodrat Shrine, some K-Knight Shadow Stalkers, High Gladiatrix is the only kind of thing here that stands out, makes the list a little bit different. And then Matt Nugent, the Nuge, was running a Cruel Boys list called Cruel Boys Doggy Style, because dogs always end up on top, which is a Swamp Horde Bullies list with a Swamp Caller Shaman, reinforced Gut Rippers, 6 units of Monster Killers, Merc Knobs with Belcher Banners in the list as well. Very different to some of the other lists because it's just got those spammed Monster Killers. We saw that a lot last week. We haven't seen that this much this week. Hope everyone had a great time. Our next event takes it up to Scotland, specifically Glasgow, for the GT G-Town Throwdown, organized by Tom Skelton. Shout out to Tom. We got some pictures. Thank you for sending us a bunch of pictures of the venue. It looks great. It is located at Vlad's Emporium. So if you're somewhere near Glasgow, you want to go around Glasgow, jump over to Vlad's Emporium. It looks like a great little spot in the middle of Glasgow to go play some games. I don't know if it's the middle, but somewhere around there. There you go. You can see some pictures, which is great. And then we have a 5-0, and specifically No lists. Oh, our 5.0 didn't have a list. No. And then neither did any of our other lists, which is disappointing. So I hope everyone had a great time at the event. Good. Our next event takes us back to England, to the USA for the Palladium Games Age of Sigmar GT, organized by Palladium Wargaming. If you get the chance to go out, it's in PA in Phoenixville. If you want to go play some Warhammer over in Phoenixville. In first place, we have an Iron Jaws army played by Radu. And Radu was running a list called Pigs, which was Krazog's Grunter Stampede, which I started painting last night, which is Restless Energy and Attuned to Garant, with the Tuskboss on Morgrunter, the Morgrunter Gougers, Morgrunter with Hacking Crew, 2 units of Gore Grunters, a Tuskboss with Morgrunter, and then loads of Gore Grunters, a reinforced unit, and 2 other units. So lots of pigs. All the time, the big pigs are pulling everyone back in, although there's lots of little pigs in there as well, which is cool to see. And actually, Krazog's Grunter Stampede is continuously doing kind of well. Mike Mercurio is our only 4-1 with an army called This Army is a Cannon, which is a Cities of Sigmar army, exactly what you would expect to see in it, with Command Corps, Fusiliers, a great cannon, and some other stuff as well. Massive congratulations to Mike. Our next event takes us back to Australia, to Queensland, for the Plastic Power Cup, organised by Alan Newcomb. Shout out to Alan for organising the event. His first event organising, I think. And Alan also won the event. Let's go! Running Magikin of Nurgle in the Plague Cyst with Wrathful Cycles and Shunty Gran, with Scourging Gran Rotigus, 2 reinforced unit of Blight Kings, Harbinger Decay, a Sloppity Blip Blop, and then the Regiment Renowned, the Exiled one. So bringing Scarbrand in. That's really fun. Scarbrand in a Nurgle army from the new book. That's cool to see. Then we got Brooke Mills with a list called I'll Scout to That, which is a Soulblight Gravelords back on all blood, with Scouting Force and Restless Energy. Yeah, Prince Vordry, a Skirk and True Blades, some Deadwalker Zombies, a Varghese, a Vampire Lord Nightmare Steed, 2 units of Blood Knights, Death Rattle Skeleton, and a Vampire Lord. Blood Knights, pretty key right now. Deadwalker Zombies have not featured much at all. So that's cool to see them start to pop up. Matthew Kimball was running a list called Chomp, which is a Seraphon list with Thunderquake Star Host, with a soggy Old Blood on Carnosaur, reinforced unit of Agrodon Lancers, a reinforced unit of Croxagore, Raptidon Chargers, Raptidon Hunters, Skink Horacle on Troglodon, and a Bastillodon with Solar Engine. The Bastillodon with Solar Engine does feature, but the Skink Oracle on Troglodon has not featured much at all. Again, no Croak, or we did see Croak earlier, but again, one of the very few Seraphon positions we've seen in recent memory. And then Ben was running a list called Droths, which is a Fire Slayers list and the Scales of Volcatrix, with a Runefather on Magma Droth, 1-2 Magma Droths with Rune Suns, another Magma Droth with Rune Smiters, and the rest is Volkite Berserkers with Fire Steel weapons. Hope everyone had a great time at the Plastic Power Cup. Our next event takes us over to England for the Fields of Slaughter. The Fields of Slaughter Autumn GT. Stephen Coombs with the Lancashire Legion in first place with Master Pass and Restless Energy. Was a Kharadron Overlord's army with everything you would expect to see in it. Fantastic work. And then Alex Donkin did not get 4 wins, I'm afraid. Shout out to you though, Alex, with Seraphon. Almost got 4 wins. So another KO in the bag. We need an FAQ Games Workshop. Let's get it sorted. Our next event is called No Surrender, Only Glory, taking place in New Zealand in Christchurch for a 6-person round robin, with Robert Vincent being our winner with Stormcast Eternals. The event was organized by Sam Smith. Shout out to Sam. The Stormcast Eternals list was called Lord Orvid's Review, which was Scouting Force and Restless Energy, Sentinels of the Bleak Citadels, Ionis Cryptborn, then a Knight Azeros, 2 units of Prosecutors and some Stormstrike Paladors, then a Lord Relictor, a unit of Reclusians, another unit of Reclusians, and then a Knight Arcanum. So Stormcast kind of on the up at the moment, actually. I think we can't ignore the fact they're kind of on the up. And then our last 4-1 is played by Victor Stewart, which was a Kharadron Overlords list with everything you could expect to see. So that is everything from this week, from events around the world. And interesting, I think we started out strong with LRL, then we didn't really see them for the rest of the event. again, that really broad Soulblight Gravelords playstyle, we're seeing a lot. We can't ignore the power and how often we're seeing Cities of Sigmar and also Kharadron Overlords, whereas I think Cruel Boys have dropped off a little bit, as have Daughters of Cain. So we've definitely got two standout problem armies. Fleshy Court still maintaining and being popular, which is interesting. We saw no Slaves to Darkness for the whole weekend. No Slaves to Darkness in play, which I think is wild. When we've seen Slaves to Darkness play several other weeks, we've seen them feature, not heavily, but they feature okay. A little bit of Ironeth Deepkin here and there. Sylvaneth, it seems, on the rise. Stormcast, it seems, on the rise. So that's nice to see. We really didn't see any Khorne. We saw like a Khorne army, so we did not see much, especially when they had a new book out. New book means lots of people playing it, trying it out. Like, you know, compare Khorne and Flesh Eater Courts. Everyone's running around playing Flesh Eater Courts, having a good time. No one's really running around with Khorne and having a good time, which I think is a little bit disappointing. So, you know, that came out recently, and I'm a little bit surprised to see. So, yeah, I think at this point, we are treading water until we see what that battle scroll does for the game. Obviously, Chaos Dwarfs have just got their new book as well. And while we're unlikely to see Chaos Dwarf results, because while the box is coming out soon, I wouldn't expect to see the armies do well, because you're still waiting several weeks until you're going to get all of the different units released, like the Bull Centaurs and everything released individually. But obviously you might see people 3D print armies and put them on the table, so they might hit the scene sooner than you expect as well, because the points are pretty aggressive and pretty low. So battle scroll update soon. Have to see if we change. We'll see what change we end up getting, and then leading on to Christmas, where we might see a bunch of new regiments and other stuff released, like we saw last year as well. So I'm excited to find out what happens, and I hope you've enjoyed the Stats Show. Thanks to the Twitch chat for hanging out, and as always, thanks to Warhammer Rob, and thank you to everyone on Patreon. You're all the best. I'll see you soon.